Today I'm going to be taking a look at the ESM 9110, a budget performance style controller by EasySMX. The ESM 9110 is compatible with Nintendo Switch, Windows, Android, as well as a few others. I've reviewed some other EasySMX controllers in the past, and they've all been pretty good. Will this one continue that trend? Let's find out. Inside the box, you have the controller itself, the wireless dongle, a USB Type-C cable for charging, as well as some paperwork. The controller itself has a really sleek and sharp design. It's got 4 face buttons, 2 analog sticks, set in the Xbox style configuration, a directional pad, a start and back button, turbo functionality, as well as a mode button that allows you to program inputs. It's got a home button in the center, and over on the bottom you got these 2 buttons. One of them controls the controller's vibration. The other one allows you to adjust the LEDs, which is definitely one of the controller's high points. It's very nice light display. Over on the top you have a left and right bumper as well as a left and right trigger. Over on the controller's backside you have 4 paddle style buttons that are completely programmable. The controller's definitely not lacking function and features, but how well does it actually perform while gaming? While using it for the Nintendo Switch, it felt a bit limiting because I can only use it while the console was docked, either using the wireless dongle or through wired connection. I suppose if you had an OTG cable, you can always use it in tabletop mode that way, but that seems like a bit of a hassle. The buttons feel nice and solid. The directional pad is more along the lines of the Xbox One, which isn't my favorite type of D-pad. I would have preferred something more along the lines of the Nintendo Switch Pro controller directional pad, but this one's definitely passable. The 9110 doesn't have motion controls or amiibo support, which normally is a huge negative for me in terms of third-party controllers. But because this one wasn't designed to be primarily a Switch controller, I guess I could let that slide. On top of that, the analog sticks are some of the best I felt on a third-party controller, and the triggers are probably the most comfortable triggers I've ever used on a controller. And that's a pretty bold statement, but these things feel that good. They have these really subtle grooves that allow the pads of your index finger to just rest so comfortably. In terms of a third-party Nintendo Switch controller, this thing is definitely above average, but I cannot overlook the fact that you're just limited to using it in docked mode. Honestly, I would say between 80 and 90% of my time playing my Nintendo Switch is in handheld mode or tabletop mode. Where I feel this controller really shines is as a companion for a gaming laptop or gaming desktop. Whether you're running retro style emulation or just playing any games where it's more comfortable to use a gamepad instead of a keyboard and mouse, this thing is a perfect sidekick. It felt pretty good while playing a fighting game like Street Fighter V, but it definitely wouldn't be my preferred option for a game like this. Whether playing an action title or a non-competitive shooter, I think I might have found my new go-to for my casual PC gaming sessions. So the ESM 9110, man do I wish this thing was Bluetooth, because that's the only real major flaw I see with this thing, is that it's so limiting when you're using it for the Nintendo Switch or for an Android device. It needs to be wired or use the dongle through an OTG cable. Outside of that, from the buttons to the joysticks to the triggers, you'd be hard pressed to find a more bang for your buck controller at this price point. In terms of third-party controllers, this thing is definitely above average. And if you're looking for a backup gamepad or a travel companion for your gaming laptop, the ESM 9110 is definitely worth looking at. If you guys are interested, as always, I'll put links in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.